Our next new logical fallacy is called the moral licensing. What is moral licensing? Moral licensing is the license that one gives to oneself to do something that you know might be a little bit blurry on the other side of the wrong line, but you give yourself license to do it because you justify it by saying, well, I've done a bunch of good things, so it's okay if I do this one thing that might be a little bit questionable. That's called moral licensing, and every human being is guilty of this. We just need to, first of all, check ourselves, the person in the mirror, when we do it. Then we can notice when other people do it, because other people do it all the time. What this means is giving ourselves permission that is earned by doing good in one area so we can do questionable things in another area, as I just explained. It is basically a mental get out of jail free card. Because you did some good stuff over here, now you can rationalize or your way through something else that you did that you know you weren't really supposed to do. Let's go through some examples of this, because all of you will be able to notice these again in everybody else. Maybe even notice them in yourself if you're willing to be honest. This is a form of false balancing out that you do in your own mind. For example, a cheat meal. So you had your meals prepped all week and you ate vegetables and fruits and you drank water and you stayed away from alcohol, you stayed away from junk food, and you didn't partake in any pharmaceutical uses that you're not supposed to use. Now at the end of the week is Saturday, you're like, hey, I did so good all week, I might as well just drink a bunch of beers and eat a whole pizza. All right, that is moral licensing. Understand that your body does not know that it's Saturday. Okay, so you doing good Monday through Friday does not mean you go eat a whole pizza on Saturday and it's supposed to just be balanced out by your body. It doesn't work that way. I work with a lot of people and I know for a fact it doesn't work that way. That's one example of moral licensing. Politics. People do this all the time in politics. They say, look at all the positive bills that I passed and all the good things I've done for the community. So there's one thing you're trying to hold against me that I wasn't supposed to do. Let's ignore that while you just pay attention to all the good stuff. That's moral licensing. You're trying to erase this one bad mark by pointing out all your good marks. The good marks have nothing to do with the bad mark that just got pointed out because you didn't have to do that. Stealing from your job. Let's say you're working at a job and you don't feel like you're making enough money. So you start stealing from the boss. You start stealing from the company. You're eating food that you're not marking as an employee meal. And your justification for it is, well, hey, they ain't paying me enough money anyway, so I'm gonna take this because I've earned it and they owe it to me. That is moral licensing. It's coping. It's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. It's just you rationalizing that you're doing something that you know you're not supposed to do. There's all a form of balancing out in your own mind, making something okay that you know is not okay. And human beings, we tend to need to do this in order to get along in the world because none of us is perfect. There is no perfect human. We are all imperfect and mere mortals. So moral licensing is something that everybody partakes in. The interesting thing is we tend to only notice it for somebody else. Go to the links in my profile. You want to learn how to think more logically, how to be more rational, more disciplined, and more consistent in your behavior overall. Work on you.